So another day and another misleading headline for the Nintendo Switch 2, and it's getting a little bit tiresome, man, because it's like, I think it's on both sides, right? Because obviously you got people that are just misleading and just rage baiting, and then you got people that are not fully informed on the defending side, and it's just a mess, man. And I think a lot of this could just be fixed and resolved if Nintendo had better communication. I'm going to show you guys Nintendo Everything's post. Nintendo Switch 2 on track for 145% tariff hit with consoles made in China. Technically, yeah, the accessories are made in China, but also some of the Switch 2s, a large majority of the Switch 2s. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about in just a second. Nikkei, I'm just going to pronounce it like that, issued a report today indicating that Nintendo Switch 2 is set to face 145% tariff hit, with most production taking place in China. And again, this has been posted on April 14th, which is the day I'm recording this. Nikkei Asia says that it has seen an internal assessment memo by a major Apple and Nintendo supplier, which indicates that the 145% tariff affecting goods made in China is still in place. The amount of Nintendo Switch 2 production happening outside of China has been up for debate. However, Nikkei Asia claims that most of the units are still coming from the region, that being China, a relatively small portion made in Vietnam, the outlet states. This sort of coincides with what Bloomberg was stating, but again, it's sort of misleading in how it's phrased, I feel like. And again, everybody's freaking out. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a price increase. Listen, guys, stop panicking. I really don't think that's going to happen. It could happen. I could be wrong. I really don't think it's going to happen. I'll explain why. Bloomberg basically is reporting that roughly a third of the Switch 2 units are assembled in Vietnam. The tariffs are only 10% at the moment. At 10%, it's almost guaranteed that Nintendo would just eat the costs. Now, you're saying like, okay, well, if there's only 1/3 of the units made in Vietnam, that means 2/3 in China. That means the majority are being made in China. This chart, the only console maker in Vietnam is Nintendo. So gaming console exports out of Vietnam to the US and to elsewhere. These Nintendo Switch 2 units are being exported from Vietnam, mostly to the United States. 383,000 units exported, all the way up to like 785,000 units. Now, here's the thing. The black bar is exports from Vietnam to the US, equals over 1 million already. Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser said that they are already stockpiling. You know, by the time we get to launch, probably a few million in North America. So all the Switch 2 consoles being made in Vietnam that are only getting hit with a 10% tariff, those are the ones Nintendo's going to ship over to North America. Nintendo would definitely eat the cost for that. What about the China-made ones? Well, that's probably going to be the ones that end up in the rest of the world. The tariffs just got implemented onto China like in the past like week or two, right? Assumingly some China-made consoles probably could have been stockpiled in the United States before these, tariffs were implemented, which gave Nintendo like 3 whole months, basically. Bottom line, don't freak out. Oh man, we're gonna have to pay like $1,000 for Switch 2. No, you're not gonna have to pay $1,000 for Switch 2. Pretty safe to say, I'm pretty sure it's gonna stay at $450, at least for the time for launch.